Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Chicago Bears. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Now, the good news, Coach, is that the winds aren't as violent as they were yesterday in Chicago, but it's still pretty darn cold. To be expected, I guess, for December football at Soldier Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cleveland Browns and the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. It's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they've been flawless all year long as they hit the home stretch at 13-0.
And now they just have to guard against complacency. You still got to go out and earn it every week.
You ready? 58, come on. Right here.
On 1st and 10, Pace, and he completes it to Cohen. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. And his throw here's incomplete. Jordan Lewis right there on the coverage. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. From the gun, Pace. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Andrew Billings drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
What you got? What you got, Abby? What you got, Abby? Give me some. Give me some. Here we go.
Pushes over him.
Now, that's just not right.
Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down.
Well, partners, my old man used to say, make sure you strap up tight if you're going to try and stop one of those big horses out there. As you just saw there, this guy does not go down easily.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Mayfield to throw it this time. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Rush in, rush in, rush in.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
20. 45. Okay, double.
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Set, 180. Mike, 45.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Antonio Callaway with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Now the try here for the point after. It's up and through to make it 7-0 Browns. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. The partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but there's that special one there. I say they go get him.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. Well, look now at the starters on the defensive side for the Browns. They really played well in that win last week against Miami.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key.
70, Indy. It's been a long day for you.
On 3rd down, Pace. Finding Gabriel, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain of 22.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Has got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Keep it up, defense.
Throwing on first down. Pace. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
2 sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. On second down, it's Cohen. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Throwing on third and long. Pace. Open man is Trey Burton. And to the 46 he goes and no further, so he is well short of the first down marker. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. They were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on. Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. The Browns offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it. It's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
He's coming, double up.
Check. Fresno.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. A gain of 3, second down. We'll look now at our starting defense. They're currently 21st, Charles, in the NFL against the run.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end Njoku. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Mayfield to throw it. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. A busy first quarter. His 3rd catch of the afternoon is a first down.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Now Mayfield's throw finds Callaway complete. And he takes this thing way down into Chicago territory. It's a big play there for the Browns. 41 yards. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. The start of the second quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. The start of the second quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. A first down throw for Mayfield. That's taken in by Callaway. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Trent Murphy, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there. And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call. So not the most convincing of kicks, but he got it to go.
Yeah, from a short distance, you expect a little bit more out of that kick, but the bottom line is what?
3 points.
3 points. Doesn't matter how it looked. It still counts the same.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Off play action. Pace. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. The Bears on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Operating from the gun. Pace. He's got his tight end, Burton. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice look. Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Mayfield steps away to his left. He'll try and run it. It'll be a gain of 9, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
It's a nice job hitting him on the angle route there. Come out of the backfield, cutting sharply across the middle. And that's good timing between the quarterback and his receiver.
Effective 3rd down play to move the chains. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Regular.
Mayfield down. Got an open man. It's Ratley. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a 1st down. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb, touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes our score 17-0. So that drives 7 plays in length. And Nick Chubb, the one to finish it off, as he does so with a touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. On 2nd down, Montgomery. And he stopped immediately there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Back to throw. Pace. He finds Robinson. And he is going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Looking to throw. Pace. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. And the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw again. Pace. This one into the hands of Burton. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Back to throw. Pace. Open man, Taylor Gabriel. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 33. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Pace. And this is Gabriel on the catch. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there brings up second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Ready? 90, wolf.
Go.
2nd and 5. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. And since the penalty occurred in the end zone, move the ball to the 1-yard line.
1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Costly penalty.
Goal line offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put all that hard work to use. Back to throw. Pace. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. 30. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick-6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Back out onto the field comes Allen Robinson. You would have to think they're going to make it more of a priority to get him the football. You're losing here in the second quarter, and he's been really quiet.
I think all we have to do, and it's too bad we can't actually see the actual play sheet now from the coordinator, because he's looking down at that and saying, okay, do I put him in different spots? Do I try and isolate him? What routes do I run? You're exactly right. They've got to get the ball in his hands and get their offense kick-started.
He does have the 2 catches, but pretty quiet so far. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, Pace. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
And he'll just keep two hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down. So there you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. He's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Mayfield on 1st down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Hey, alert, 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 alert.
Mayfield. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. He's got an open man. He completes it to Callaway. That one good for 24 yards. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A great effort there. His 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season, as his guys continue to pour it on.
And that's another route that defenders would vote to take out of the game.
The wheel route?
Oh, without a doubt. You're just trying to move everybody in one direction. And whether it's a running back or another receiver, as they zip out on the sideline, you've got a problem on your hands.
Yeah, well, the defenders hate it there. It happened, and it resulted in a touchdown. Extra point attempt here still to come. And they're able to up the lead by 1 more.
Makes the score Browns 31, Bears nothing.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Just like that. Just like that.
On first down, Pace gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Out of the gun, running with Cohen. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
He's got Burton here. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Set 50, plant.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Watch safety green.
5.
Safety green.
Quick pass out to Miller. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
If you're a wide receiver and they call a screen pass, you're counting on some people being out in front of you blocking. But that play was well diagnosed by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. And they got there and swarmed and finished off the play.
Here we go. 18 Gator.
Come on, D. Check safety. Check
Get it.
To throw on 2nd down. Pace. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the 3rd.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Here's Mayfield. Over the middle, complete. It's Maxwell. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Got two, got
second
three.
and 1.
From the 45 on second down, Mayfield. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Run.
On fourth down, they snap it to Mayfield. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down. Fifth catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Escaping the pressure right. And he's got this one complete to Callaway. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Antonio Callaway with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's second and a yard from the 34.
I got one.
They'll run on second down with Cohen. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. On first down, they go right back to Cohen. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. We're off to the fourth quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Ready. 70, Indy.
Rabbit.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. Connecting with Burton here over the middle. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 14 yards and a Chicago first down. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Pace. This is caught by Robinson. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 14.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They get a little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
Now they'll run it with Cohen. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. The Bears on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Caught by Montgomery. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
And Bryant's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Takes this to the 27, give him 4 yards.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Alert, alert! Alert, alert! You think you gonna get this?
Mayfield looks to throw. Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. Leonard Floyd able to record his 5th sack of the season. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to tear you up. Don't get nervous.
Mike, 45.
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. And he's got the hook up to Landry. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. And the incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead. But I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. First down, Mayfield. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Kyle Fuller. And this one will be brought back to the 22. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. On the draw, this is Cohen. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Cohen. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid game. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. 2nd and 2. Completes it to the tight end, Burton. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. From the gun, Pace, and Robinson with a big catch. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Pace got his man complete over the middle. It's Burton. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. To throw on 3rd down. Pace. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Around the NFL 4th quarter right now in Atlanta. The Redskins have scored yet again. They've really opened that one up. Dwayne Haskins, 3 touchdown passes to help lead the way. The Browns drive about to get started. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
To throw, Mayfield. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Throwing. Mayfield. That's taken in by Callaway.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And I think the game balls need to be distributed on the defensive side of the football, and I bet that you would agree.
Yeah, if you hold a team under 10 points, that's a job well done. Really well done. So I would say game balls for every starter and every key player who participated in this game.
Now, see, I only like one game ball. You're handing out multiple, although I set you up by saying game balls, plural, but